أنا عايزة أشكر إن الفضل في هذه الفكرة إنها تبقى معانا في الأسبوع. دكتور يحيى إمام هو أحد أعضاء لجنة التحكيم وهو أستاذ في جامعة زويل، والحقيقة الفكرة كويسة جدا وبنشوف فيها نماذج حلوة وبنقدر نعرف أفكار كتير عن الرسائل وعن الأبحاث اللي بتقدموها. بيشرف النهارده لجنة التحكيم بوجود دكتورة إيمان رجب معانا والدكتور عصام محمد والدكتور يحيى الإمام، واحنا ان شاء الله هنستمتع ب10. احنا قدم لنا عدد كبير من الباحثين اللي اتعمل لهم شورت ليست 10. ان شاء الله نشوفهم جميعا ونقدر يعني نفهم فكره البحث في ال3 دقائق، والثلاثه الفائزين ان شاء الله يكرموا ويبقى لهم جوائز ماليه. انما جميعكم هيكون لكم تكريم مع معالي الوزير وشهادات تقدير على مجهودكم وعلى الافكار اللي قدمتوها في المسابقه. بشكركم واتمنى ان شاء الله ان الجلسه تكون موفقه، وبدعو الدكتور يحيى ان هو هيقول بريف عن المسابقه، لانها الحقيقه هي الفكره مش بتاعتنا، هي جامعه استراليه ولازم ناكنولج الجهه اللي عامله المسابقه على مستوى العالم، ونتمنى ان السنه الجايه انتم كمان تنشروها لباحثين تانيين يكون معانا مشاركه اكبر. شكرا لحضرتك.
شكرا دكتور ايمان على حضرتك، مقدمه جميله. يعني مسابقه الفري ام تي وهي stands for 3 minute presentation، هي مسابقه في الاساس انطلقت من University of Queensland في استراليا، فالفضل يرجع ليهم في انطلاق المسابقه دي اللي بدات يعني محليه في استراليا وبعدين انتشرت في الجامعات والمؤسسات التعليميه في اماكن كثيره جدا في العالم زي ما الخريطه بتوري. عشان يبقى الامر واضح، هو هدف ال 3 ام تي كومبيتيشن انها بتخلي الباحثين يشرحوا ابحاثهم بالماجستير والدكتوراه في 3 دقائق فقط. الهدف مش ان هو يخاطب جمهور يعني متخصص، وانما في 3 دقائق ازاي يلخص الباحث شغله لجمهور يعني عام، قد يكون يعني ايه في النهايه الببليك اوبينيون بيقول طب والله نعمل الابحاث دي ولا ما نعملهاش وهكذا. فالهدف انه البرزنتيشن الحقيقه تكون كابتيفيتنج، تحوز باقبال او اعجاب الناس. اعتقد دي كانت الليسته الاصليه للجادجنج بانل، كان فيها الدكتور احمد من اليوسين وكان فيها الدكتور هاني بس للاسف اعتذروا. القواعد اللي هيتم يعني من خلالها بتتم البرزنتيشن هي 1 static سلايد، وبالتالي ما ينفعش يكون في انيميشن، ما ينفعش يكون في فيديو. البرزنتر بيعتمد على يعني 1 سلايد بكل elements يعني ستاتيك اللي ممكن يستخدمها، واسلوبه هو في الشرح وتبسيط يعني هدف البحث وطريقته للجمهور. الجادجنج كرايتيريا، الجادجنج بانل هيقيموا البرزنتيشنز على اساس 2 main criteria، على اساس الكومبريهنشن والكونتنت. ففي سكورينج شيتس يعني بنملى على اساسها سكورز لكل من هذه الكرايتيريا. بجانب الكومبريهنشن والكونتنت ايكوال ويت عندنا الانجيجمنت والكوميونيكيشن كمان، انه هل الاوريشن نفسها الايقاع يعني الاسلوب في اعطاء البرزنتيشن كان يشد الجمهور ولا لا. فده باختصار الجادجنج كرايتيريا على اساس الجادجنج بانل هيدي سكورز، هيتم حساب السكورز، وفي الاخر عندنا المركز الاول ثاني ثالث ان شاء الله. واعتقد البرزنتر الاولاني عندنا مهندس احمد شوقي.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Experimental and numerical investigations of using nanoparticles in groundwater remediation. Groundwater is the main source of accessible fresh water, as it represents 96% of accessible fresh water. That's why protecting and remediating it is a global concern. However, increasing industrial sites and mining activities in Egypt increased heavy metal concentrations such as iron, which severely deteriorate groundwater quality. Researches have been made to develop groundwater remediation techniques such as permeable reactive barrier, which is considered the most common in situ technique. They also investigated the efficiency of using nanoparticles due to its tiny size and large surface area and high reactivity in the removal of contaminants from water samples using batch experiments. That's why this study aims to investigate the efficiency of using zeolite nanoclay in the removal of iron from flowing groundwater. An experimental model was built with dimensions of 140 centimeters length and 75 centimeters height and 40 centimeters width, and divided into several partitions, simulating the permeable reactive barrier in the middle, which contains the active material, and the surrounding stratum. Head difference between the inlet and the outlet was made using overflow side openings to simulate contaminated groundwater flow. Sensitivity analysis to investigate the effect of changing different parameters was made. The results show that increasing initial concentration of iron from 20 to 80 ppm decreased the removal efficiency from 85 to 76%. Increasing the permeable reactive barrier thickness from 10 to 25 centimeters increased the removal efficiency, so the curve moved up about 10%. Increasing the head difference from 4 to 15 centimeters decreased the removal efficiency due to the increase in the flow velocity. And finally, increasing nanoclay dosage increased the removal efficiency, so the curve moved up about 5%. In conclusion, zeolite nanoclay is highly recommended for future remediation studies. Thank you.
Time 2 minutes 43 seconds. 2 minutes 43 seconds. متصرف الثاني مهندس علي خالد علي، فاكولتي اوف انجينيرنج كايرو يونيفرستي. اتفضل حضرتك.
Which results in an enormous number of alternatives that cannot be tested manually, and this shows the importance of an automated comprehensive design approach. This is done by OCCD as it uses a genetic algorithm which produce multiple design alternatives that cover the domain. Each design alternative has a unique cross-section dimensions and profile. Then it conducts a hydraulic simulation on each alternative to determine the water surface profile and flow properties. After this, it conducts and checks for some constraints to check each alternative validity, for example, the maximum allowed water velocity. Then it divides the channel into several segments and conducts a cost analysis based on predefined cost ratios. The cost analysis accounts for the cost of lining, earthwork, and land acquisition, in addition to the water loss cost due to seeping and evaporation. This process is repeated for several times until reaching the optimum design parameters, which are again the profile, alignment, and cross-section. The OCD model was validated using several sample scenarios, and the results were identical to the anticipated results as indicated in this figure. The OCD also applied for an existing channel, which is Sheikh Zayed Canal in Toshkent. The proposed design alternative of the OCCD is 28% less in the cost than the existing design, and it saves about 20% of the water loss. The OCCD is capable of taking the restricted areas into consideration, indicated as the red zone in this figure. It also can account for several and variable land acquisition costs, which allows us to apply our model on flood control channel in Saudi Arabia. So our model is optimal as it provides and checks for different number of alternatives, comprehensive. It takes all costs into consideration. It's efficient and automated. It's also reliable because it is constrained and takes many constraints into consideration. Okay, thank you.
Engineer Ali, 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Our third competitor will be Engineer Amina Jalal Ahmed, Department of Construction Engineering, American University.
Who agree with me that water security is very important for achieving our national safe and development in arid region? Who agree with me that water security is very important for achieving our national security? Therefore, we have to maximize the use of each drop of water, even our sewage sludge. We are in need to maximize the number of wastewater treatment plants constructed that work in new recent technology to maximize its effectiveness. So, look at these stages. Water wars. As we see that water is very important for achieving our national security. To maximize the use of our water resources, we have to increase the number of wastewater treatment plants that constructed and worked in a recent technology. Stages for wastewater treatment is end up by thick black liquid called sewage sludge. This sewage sludge is spread up in wide land called drying bed and let it to evaporate freely. But this process takes too much time. Therefore, my objective is to increase efficiency of wastewater treatment plants by decrease the time required for sewage sludge dewatering. The idea comes from plants that spread wide in our rivers and canals. So I choose 4 types of plants and achieve my experiments on this. The first and second and third stages to examine which the best type of plants that can achieve my target. Accelerate sludge dewatering process. I choose water hyacinth. Then with a certain criteria, we design a pilot scale model to compare planted dry bed and unplanted dry bed. By achieving it, we can find that planted dry bed can accelerate the sludge dewatering double that used in unplanted one with half of its time, as well as dried sludge resulting from this process is very high, has very high quality, and we have a proof of it that after end of experiment, I have spread wide of tomato trees in dry bed as we see here. By the end of results, using water hyacinth in dry bed, it can increase the efficiency of wastewater treatment plant as well as decrease the cost required for dry bed construction. In addition to that, the dried sludge can increase crop productivity. My aim in future is to apply this experiment in the real scale. Thank you.
Engineer Amira, 2 minutes, 54 seconds. Our fourth professor is the engineer man, Hussein Hassan, from Faculty of Engineering, Tata University. Please. Okay, stop. Okay. engineering man, 2 minutes 13 seconds. 2 minutes 13 seconds. Our fifth competitor is engineer Hadil Abdelhamid, faculty of engineering, Cairo University.
The question I'm going to answer is, what is the effect of future development in Sinai on aquifers protection? Sinai Peninsula is an arid region that depends mainly on groundwater for future development, but overpumping may cause aquifers depletion. Therefore, it's important to study aquifer potential. Here in Central Sinai, we have two main aquifer systems that overlay each other and act as separate blocks: the Lower Cretaceous sandstone aquifer and the Upper Cretaceous limestone aquifer. Both aquifer systems extend in Sinai and Iraq. Let's take a look at the current situation in the Upper Cretaceous and Lower Cretaceous aquifer system. For the Upper Cretaceous aquifer, there is a current abstraction of 5.9 million cubic meter per year from the red wells and 20 million cubic meter per year from the north. And for the Lower Cretaceous aquifer, there is a current abstraction of 6.6 million cubic meters per year from the black wells in Sinai and 20 million cubic meters per year from the north. The objective of my study is to assess the sustainability of the two aquifer systems under the effect of the construction of 14 new developmental settlements in Sinai, and that will be achieved by running two future scenarios. The first scenario is the abstraction of additional 8.4 million cubic meters per year from the Upper Cretaceous, and the second scenario is the abstraction of additional 23 million cubic meters per year from the Lower Cretaceous. The methodology followed was the numerical modeling using GMS software. Two separate models were developed, and the models were calibrated using parameter estimation. The forward random place to study the future scenario. The models resulted in the drawdown contour lines for both Upper Cretaceous and Lower Cretaceous aquifer after 30 years. To summarize the result, the maximum drawdown will reach 77 meters at Upper Cretaceous and 150 meters at the Lower Cretaceous, and the drawdown rate will reach 2.6 meters per year at Upper Cretaceous and 5 meters per year at Lower Cretaceous. Finally, it was found that the depth to water will reach more uneconomical depths at some well stapling the Lower Cretaceous aquifer. Therefore, it's not recommended to depend on Lower hand, further exploration for upper Cretaceous aquifer is recommended. Thank you.
Engineer Hadid Abdelhamid, 2 minutes, 27 seconds. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Our sixth competitor is Engineer Mohammed Sulaiman, Faculty of Engineering, Cairo University. Please.
Using artificial intelligence techniques in sizing. So, using artificial intelligence techniques in sizing the protection devices against water harm effects. Water harm effects. What's the water harm? Water harm phenomena can be generated. It's like waves can be initiated in the pipeline system from the water supply. These waves can be generated by any sudden change in flow property, like sudden pump failure or any other change in flow property. These waves can lead to intensive damages in infrastructures, losses of property and life, and losses of great amount of food. In order to eliminate these effects, we can use sizing of air chambers. These tanks can vary in size from 0 cubic meters to hundreds of cubic meters to megascale projects. Unfortunately, sizing these tanks or optimizing these tanks involves various parameters. These parameters is complex, have a complex relationship with that iterative solution and consumes large time computation. So, my research methodology will be summarized in the next 5 steps in order to reach to an optimal design sizing tool, simple and reliable, and consumes less time. This can be done by combining the artificial intelligence techniques with the hydrodynamic. The first step is to define the problem, define the input parameters like diameter, length, material, and so on, which can directly affect the output, which is the optimal tank size. Second step, using statistical methods to generate a wide range of operational cases. These operational cases can cover all alternatives can be done. The third step, the proceeds of input parameter and the corresponding optimum tank size for the protection device will be tested sensitively to select the most effective parameters in order to reduce the complexity of the targeting. Step number
Engineer Mohammed Suleiman, 2 minutes 59 seconds. Our seventh professor is Engineer Nurhan Abdulazim, Faculty of Engineering, Cairo University.
Signing the Declaration of Principles between Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan, March 2015, will have the unilateral filling and operation of the Grand Pyramids Ethiopian Dam, known as JERD. Despite the huge effort exerted to assess dam implications using several simulation techniques, yet the optimal operation policy of JERD wasn't yet investigated. Towards a win-win fateful agreement of the long-lasting JERD dilemma, I developed a first coded optimization model for JERD operation using the latest algorithm, linked to hydrological simulators that I programmed as well. The result showed that, besides the permanent reduction in blue Nile flow as evaporation and seepage losses, the unilateral JERD operation may extend the drought period to the downstream nations up to 3 times due to its huge reservoir several refillings, while keeping and maintaining a minimum environmental safeguard inflow to the downstream nations, yields almost the same energy production during drought periods, while mitigating the project risks, which is the main base of all the Egyptian proposals. The result showed also that decreasing the announced active storage capacity of the dam by 40% yields 90% of the announced energy targets of the project, which is very recently announced by Ethiopia as the optimal operation level of JERD. I coded the model fully dynamic for any future cooperation and data exchange, for instance, employing the latest trilateral agreement of Washington that Ethiopia withdrawn, showed that, or yields, the same energy production during drought periods while protecting the downstream nation, water, food, and social security. Such results are crucial, and reaching such agreement is crucial for almost half of Africa nations or population and the future generation of 250 million people living in the Eastern Nile region. Thank you so much.
Engineer Nurhan Abdulazim, 2 minutes, 29 seconds. 2 minutes, 29 seconds. our eighth professor is Engineer Sama Muhammad, Faculty of Engineering, Cairo University.
Hazard history recorded several cases of hazard due to transaction and rainfall variability. In fact, the analysis of the natural crisis of disasters over the year of 2015 stated that the flood has the responsibility for about 15% of the people affected by the disaster in this year. In advance to 28% were towards the storm in this year. That's why several areas in the world is affected by temporal and spatial rainfall variability, including the study area of this research kingdom of Saudi Arabia, KSA. If we, in the top figure, as the blue color is graded to the red color, the rainfall that increases, which illustrates the variability temporarily from spring to autumn in kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in advance to the spatial variability over the kingdom, which triggers this research to establish a generalized, well-organized framework to be followed to deal with this variability of data over any area, going through statistical and stochastical approaches and dynamics coding. Starting with data collection and analysis, then spatial clustering using k-means, method and sensitivity analysis of the method, then filling the gaps needed in the data set, and finally cluster analysis using probabilistic models. In addition to the framework established, hydrological outputs were developed for the kingdom, which are recommendation lists for the distribution setting of the extreme rainfall data over kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Isometer maps, which represents the rainfall taxes for different returning periods in form of contour maps. Finally, IDF curves, which represents the relation between rainfall storm duration, intensity, and frequency. Keeping in mind that there is no such hydrological outputs developed for the entire area of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the previous studies or in the code of design of Saudi Arabia itself. Thus, these outputs can be used for any hydrological study, such as flood protection studies, and this study might be used by authorities and ministries and decision-making and KSA in advance to consultancy organization that may save them time, would save them time, and would solve the problem of lack of them. Okay.
Engineer Salma Muhammad, 2 minutes 52 seconds. 2 minutes 52 seconds. Again, 2 minutes 52 seconds. Our last but not least competitor is Engineer Ziad Ahmed from Faculty of Engineering, Alexandria University. Please.
experimental work is divided into two phases. Firstly, fabrication of the membrane by using the electrospinning technique and by studying different parameters affecting the fabrication process, and by using the scanning electron microscope analysis, we reach the optimal conditions for the fabrication of the membrane. Second phase is designing a system or designing a hybrid system for testing and for studying the performance of the membrane and studying the performance of the photocatalyst. This system is called photocatalytic. This system is called photocatalytic membrane reactor. It consists of 5 main parts: a feed tank containing the wastewater, a heating unit for partial vaporization of water, a membrane cell containing the fabricated membrane, and the membrane tank to collect all the past water vapor. The result shows that every 1 meter square will produce 3 kilograms or 3 liters of water in 1 hour. Also, the dye concentration in the feed tank decreased from 50% to 75% according to the operating conditions. So the main key findings of this study is that electrospinning produces highly porous membrane reaching 89%, and also the photocatalytic membrane reactor system or the design system is driven by producing pure water that can be used once again in the industrial plant and increasing the dye concentration for suitable environmental disposal. Thanks.
Thank you, Engineer Ziad Ahmad. Yeah. His time was 2 minutes 19 seconds. 2 minutes 19 seconds. We will have a short break for the judges to deliberate. Thank you, all the conductors, for all of you. Best of luck.
طبعا الحقيقه كل الباحثين اللي قدموا النهارده كانت الابحاث كلها يعني بتاتش اريا مهمه جدا، كلها بتعالج مشاكل بنواجهها في اداره الموارد المائيه. مش يعني اختيارنا للثلاثه الاوائل ما بيقللش من اي مجهود عرض. الحقيقه كل الافكار جميله، ولكن كان اللي قدروا ان هم يحققوا الكرايتيريا اللي خاصه بالمسابقه واللي فايزين معانا النهارده. الحقيقه بنرحب بالفائز الاول المهندسه الفائز الثالث المهندسه هديل عبد الحميد. خليكي معانا خلاص. مبروك للباشمهندسين. الحقيقه الفائز الاول والمركز يعني الاقوى يمكن في الموضوع وفي الالقاء. والحقيقه انا بحيي المهندسه نورهان جدا. بصراحه انت وصلتي الفكره في النو تايم وطريقه الالقاء كانت مختلفه. الف مبروك. كل المشاركين لهم معانا شهادات تقدير وتكريم هتوصل لكم عن طريق اللجنه المنظمه. والحقيقه اتمنى ان حضراتكم توصلوا المسابقه لاكبر عدد من الباحثين ويبقى معانا السنه الجايه اكتر واكتر. وهدعو الجميع لصوره جماعيه. الاول هنصور مع الثلاث فائزين وبعدين صوره جماعيه لكل المشاركين معانا. طبعا في مبلغ بسيط جدا من اللجنه التنظيميه لكافه الثلاثه الفائزين معانا. المهندسه نورهان المركز الاول، المهندس المهندسه هند، نورتونا. استاذنكم في صوره جماعيه معاكم وبعد كده هنصور ان شاء الله مع كافه الموجودين معانا في المسابقه. شكرا.
Thank you.